Hello, good morning. My thought for the day is somewhat driven by the revelations of a couple of other channels, maybe all three of them really, from thousands upon thousands of views to maybe a lesser amount. I suppose demonstrating two things. One is that one has a bigger following than the other, and I suppose that's pretty normal because we have got a new Tim Kay on the horizon here with a British expat doing his daily blogs. Sometimes he leaves it a few days before he can come up with another story. But there seems to be a common thread now, and that is that we should be bearing all, inviting you to join us on our journey in the sense that this one was a failure, that one took me to the cleaners, this one did that. Now, there are enough videos out there by just everyday people explaining how things can go wrong. They try not to emphasize exactly the people that are involved, but they certainly leave you with the question mark, will you make the same mistake? And I suppose the answer to that is probably yes, because again, there's a common thread running through all of these, and that is that there's a skilled group of people out there that make us, yes, expats, a target. We're seen as the easy prey for easy life. And there's no doubt that some of the guys who've bared all and told you their life story will undoubtedly maybe change your attitude towards possibly having a Filipino wife or even coming to the Philippines. I mean, those that have followed me, I've tried to be as factual as I can, but without being specific. Now, those around me in the past have always suggested that I was a bit too close to the bone. That may well be the case, but I tried not to emphasize like this person did that, that person said this, because to do so you run into a possible situation where they can turn nasty and use your words to hang you, so to speak. And as much as it may well make good entertainment to listen to the failures of others, to the mistakes they made, I just wonder how much of that is warranted. I mean, we could always look at the whole situation in a completely different way. There you are in America or England, Australia, New Zealand, somewhere in Europe. You meet your lady and within a month, 2 months, you're married. She asks you to build a house. You build a home. Take on a big mortgage, maybe. You buy a fancy car, maybe one for her. And also send money back to look after her mother back home overseas. Of course you do that all the time, don't you? But of course, that's not really what happens. If you did that in England, I think that they might look at you rather strangely. Why did you build a house and put it in her name only? Why did you not protect yourself? Why did you buy a new car and put it in her name, insure it in her name, papers in her name? Well, the same reason. We're all sent a little bit bizarre when it comes to matters of the heart. Here in the Philippines, it's no different in that you found someone, you don't want to let them go. My God, no, I found one. Aren't I lucky? Here I am, 65, or I'm 70, or I'm 75. Whatever age you are, you think that finding someone is so important that you can't afford to let them go. She's the one. of course, until something goes wrong. And those out there have explained quite graphically what could have gone wrong, what did go wrong. Now, some, of course, I think you have to take a lot of what they say with a pinch of salt. Some talk from the heart, and they clearly are maybe talking about someone special. In fact, they show you photos of the people they're talking about. Again, as much as it's a watershed for them, it's probably unwise unless they agreed to have their name and their photo put across the news media, being multimedia. But all things being equal, you guys seem to like it. Now you can tell somebody an issue that you can talk about in a very simplistic way, and you might get 500 views. Great. 500 people listening to my words. When I used to sit there with 10 and 12 views to each video, I dreamed of the idea of maybe having 200-300 views, some even as high as 1,000. But you guys are right on the ball. You have created, in a sense, another Tim Kay. And we know what Tim Kay's gone and got himself into. What do they call it? The age relationship. Lovely lady, what's her name? Can't remember her name. But anyway, she's studying to be a nurse. I believe that she's actually Chrissy, that's her name, and she's now studying, hopefully, to get not only a green card, but also to be able to be a trained nurse here in the Philippines. She's a mother of a little child, and they appear to be still together anyway. One does ask the question why he suddenly stopped when he was so successful. Maybe there's something that we are not privy to at the moment. But we have an up-and-coming man, the new Tim Kay. What's his name? Stephen. He, on average, gets over maybe 3 or 4 days, 5,000-10,000 views. Again, brilliant. He's got himself a good market, a good audience. But then, now and again, once or twice or 3 times a month, he's got 50, 60, 100,000 views. You have to ask yourself, what's he doing wrong or right? Some of you, when you tell you guys a story that have come to your ears, you get the inevitable question. Sounds a bit far-fetched to me, John. I think you made it up. Really? Okay. Thank you for the flattery that I'm now an author of BS. Okay. So, when you have a story that seems so true, so real, is it not BS maybe? Is maybe some of it just some realities joined to a story? After all, some of us, I don't include myself with that brush, so there are a few out there that are very good storytellers. If they told you that the sky was really pink when it was blue, I think we would even believe them. But the thing is, it's not jealousy. It's just amazement at how one person can hit it on the nail every time. Now we have to ask ourselves, with AI now, do you realize that you can go on AI, numbers in the thousands now, sites, for a small payment per month? You can get somebody to invent a complete story for you. It can sound so plausible that you can't possibly think it's not true. So I just suggest to you now, with the amount of AI that's floating around, to be very careful that you don't use everybody's video as gospel. Always check it out. And don't just Google it. Check it out, ask the same question in multiple ways, and try and see if you can get a better response. Go to government sites, check out the costs. I mean, I have a friend, here we go again. I have a friend who was quoted 100,000 pesos by a lawyer to arrange and get him an NBI check while he was living in the UK. In the end, I did the whole thing for the guy. He got his fingerprints done in London. He couriered them to me. I took the day off and went into town, into the Manila NBI, filed them, paid the 180 pesos, of which 160 was the actual fee, 20 was for the lady to receive the money for the government. And just 4 days later, I went back again to the NBI in Manila and picked them up. The whole exercise, the guy reimbursed me for a free meal, not the airfare, the bus ride and the train trip, plus the fee, and threw in a couple of 100 pesos for a meal. So it cost him about 1,600 pesos plus £23 in England, plus the cost of him going from where he lived to London to get it done at the embassy. So it just goes to show, if you do your homework, you can save money and you can actually get the job done a lot cheaper. Don't believe all these so-called agents are that for you. Get you a document and charge you 8, 10,000, 15,000 just to go and pick up a document. You know, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's quicker to do it yourself. It might mean a trip, but it might not. It could be done by courier. So just remember, always ask questions. Don't always believe everything. And I'd like to give a big shout out to my good friend, Joe, who's also done one of these, I'll call them exposés of why I came to the Philippines. And his was a very heartfelt one. Again, showing pictures of the people, and many of us who've been following him for a long time will understand he's a very genuine guy. But he too, as many bloggers get, they get these keyboard warriors that are out there willing to make stupid comments, almost derogatory comments to you. But of course, it's wasted because it only takes one press of a button and that guy's gone. So, along with his very disgusting comments that may be put up on your channel. So, guys, think twice when you hear all these amazing stories that come from one's mind. Because maybe, just maybe, it's AI. This is brought to you by AI, John, the ventriloquist. Oh my God, how amazing. Uh-oh, I made my mouth. Bye now.